Hey, welcome all managers to the NBA 2K24 Fantasy League. You guys know what time it is. It's draft lottery day. This is your commish Jay Wynn. Today we're going to find out where you land in this year's draft, which is set for October 23rd at 8 p.m. Once again, that is Monday, October 23rd, 8 p.m., the day before the NBA regular season starts. And yes, the day that the NBA regular season starts is the day that our league starts as well. So make sure you put your players in the day after we draft. But before we get into all that, let's talk about last season really quick. Man, last season was really exciting. It was extremely competitive and everyone was very active. We actually broke our league record with 574 total acquisitions. We made a lot of moves last year as the league as a whole, and that's what makes this league so fun. So the reason why we're able to continue to have a great league every single year is because of the group of guys that we have together. So thank you everyone for participating and making this fun. But a big shout out, a special shout out to our champion, Team King Saboner II, ran by Kevin Lamb. Man, Kevin, huge congrats to you first off, but he's the definition of someone who works hard in this league and who really wants to win. For the past 5 seasons, he's ended top 3 4 times. Man, he hustles in free agent signings, he stays active in the trade market, and he consistently does well with draft picks every single year. So Kevin, you are our champion this year, our current champion, and you deserve it. And it's interesting to see how you're going to do with this target on your back, with this pressure of being the current champion. I personally have a feeling with your work ethics and your determination, you're going to be in the mix again at the end of the year and doing everything you can do to defend your first ever title. So congratulations again, Kevin Lamb. Let's see what you can do this year. Also, one last thing I want to mention before we do this is that we do have a new manager this year replacing Team Lamo. It's sad to see Lamont go, but he's currently retired. He's been playing this league since 2018, so really congratulations to Lamont as well in his long NBA 2K career. His all-time record, he ended his career with 21 wins, 74 losses, and 2 ties. He also averaged 9th place every season. So not good, but it was fun having him in the league, and we welcome him back if he ever wants to join again. But he's been replaced by some new young blood. This guy that's replacing him, he's actually friends with Randy and myself, but he's coming from an East Coast category fantasy league, and he's finally getting the opportunity to make the jump into the official NBA 2K fantasy league. And the guy that's going to come in here, his name is Mappo. So congratulations, Mappo. Thank you for joining our league and welcome to the big leagues. And since we do have a new member, let's do a quick review of our rules this year. Same as last year, we're a fantasy point league that rewards extra points for double doubles, 3 points extra, triple doubles, you get 6 point extra, and 3-point field goals made, you get 1 extra point for every 3-pointer. We do have an IR spot on each team's roster. 8 teams make the playoffs. The 3 teams that don't make the playoffs will have a consolation tournament. The winner of the playoffs, the league champion, gets an NBA jersey of their choice, and the winner of the consolation tournament they'll get the first overall pick in the following year's draft. We also have a mid-season tournament called the Mid-Season Classic, where all teams will qualify for, and the winner of the Mid-Season Classic gets a hat of their choice. If you have any questions, let me know, but you can also go to our league's info, and they'll have all the scoring in there as well. So keep that in mind before the draft. Let me know if you have any questions. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the draft lottery. So what I have here is a wheel with pictures of all the managers in this league. I'm going to spin the wheel and we're going to see who's going to get the 11th overall pick to the first overall pick. So with the 11th overall pick of this year's draft, it goes to Trevor O'Sullivan. So Trevor ended last year 4th overall in the final standings, but he ended the regular season with a 17-2 record and the number 1 overall seed going into the playoffs. Unfortunately, he lost in the semifinals to your commissioner. It was an upset, but Trevor led last year as the first place team throughout the whole entire season. So he had the first overall pick last year where he was able to get Jokic, but now he's going to get the last overall pick this year, which I don't think he needs to worry about too much. I'm sure he doesn't, because he finds value in later rounds anyways. A notable pickup from last year's draft, he was able to get Lauri Markkanen in the 7th round. He was able to get Zubac in the 10th round. Surprisingly, Zubac averaged 19.5 fantasy points per game. So him having the last pick is not too concerning. I can still see him being competitive and even being a number 1 seed again this year. He's out for blood. He hasn't won a championship yet. This could be his year. Good luck, Trevor, with the 11th overall pick. Now, with the 10th overall pick of the draft, it's going to go to Macklemore or Randy. Randy's going to get the 10th overall pick of the draft. So Randy ended last year in the final standings 8th overall, regular season record of 9-10, and he earned the honors of being Rookie of the Year. He made it to the playoffs just like his favorite team, the Kings. And you know what? Throughout the whole year, Randy showed a lot of guts. He made some big trades early in the season. He traded Brandon Ingram, Kyrie Irving for Darius Garland and Zion Williams. Did that trade work out for him? Probably not too much, but it was the idea, it was the effort, it was the action that he took to try to make his team better early in the season. That's the type of guts that gave him Rookie of the Year honors, and he made the playoffs as a rookie. So good luck, Randy, with the 10th overall pick. Let's see what's going on with the 9th overall pick of the draft. And with the 9th overall pick of the draft goes to Justin Beasley. He goes by Uncle Spliffy is his team name. Last year he ended the final standings 7th overall, and he had a 10-9 regular season record. So Beasley last year actually had a team that had 10 players that averaged over 20 fantasy points per game on his roster. So he had a lot of talent. He had also made some pretty big trades as well. He traded Desmond Bane and Siakam for LeBron James and Anthony Simons. Did he win that trade? I don't know, but it was a big move that he makes that he usually doesn't do. So hopefully, just because if he doesn't think he won in that trade last year, it doesn't prevent him to be taking more risk this year. His best finish ever was 4th place. He's a veteran in this league since the very first year. So good luck, Beasley, with your 9th overall pick. And with the 8th overall pick of the draft, goes to Kevin Lamb, our current champion. Kevin Lamb, as you know, is our champion. He ended the regular season last year with a 17-2 record. Not only did he win the league championship title, but he was also the mid-season tournament, mid-season classic winner again for the 2nd time. Kevin last year's squad had Luka, Sabonis, Donovan Mitchell, who he got in the 4th round, Vucevic, And, this year, um, with the pick that he has, the 8th overall, it's right in the middle, so it's going to be challenging for him, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does with it. Uh, Also, just something to note, he purchased an Anthony Edwards jersey last year as his championship prize. So we'll see who he drafts 8th overall. And with the 7th overall pick of the draft goes to Adam Pearson. So Adam Pearson, he finished last year 5th overall with a 10-10 regular season record. And Adam, actually, this will be his 3rd season. And into your 2nd season last year, his sophomore year, he was 5th overall. So entering the 3rd season, I think he has even higher hopes. Last year's squad, he actually had 3 Golden State Warrior players on his team at one point in time. But notable draft picks that he got is with his 10th pick, he got Steph Curry, and then later on he was able to get Damian Lillard. So to get Steph and Lillard in the same draft back to back, that's pretty huge for him. So I'm curious to see what he does with his pick this year. And with the 6th overall pick of the draft, it goes to Team Fairfield. So Cam Fairfield, who ended last year 3rd overall with 11-8 record. He was the regular season East Division champion, and he ended the season final standings 3rd overall, which actually is pretty common for Cam. Cam is our 2018 champion, our first champion ever, and after that he made it to the finals, and he's always been known to make it to top 3 overall, but it has been a while since Cam's been in the finals. The last finals matchup Cam was in 2019, so we'll see who Cam gets here for the 6th overall pick. Last year, he was able to get Giannis 3rd overall. So few picks below that this year. But knowing Cam, he's going to be a competitor, and I'm sure he's going to have some really good picks this year. And with the 5th overall pick of the draft, it's going to go to your boy Jay Wynn. So me, I got the 5th overall pick. My squad last year, I ended the season 11-8. Made it into the playoffs, and I grinded in the waiver wire. So acquisition wise, as I mentioned, our league made a lot. Out of the 574 moves we made, I made 133 of them. So my team last year wasn't the best. That's why I had a lot of pieces to move people around. So just because you don't draft well, I can be an example for you that if you just work the waiver wire, you can get yourself all the way to the championship game and maybe even win it all. Unfortunately, I did lose to Kevin Lamb, but with the 5th overall pick, I'm excited to see who's out there. Now, with the 4th overall pick of our draft, it's going to go to Mapo. So our rookie Mapo is going to get the 4th overall pick. As I mentioned before, Mapo came from a category league and moving into a points league. It's going to be, I'm not sure if you want to call it a learning curve, but it's going to be a lot of different things that you want to look out for. It's probably easier than a category league, but Mapo, you got the 4th overall pick, man. You're going to get some heat. Congrats. And with the 3rd overall pick of their draft goes to Craig Sakala. So Team Sakala last year ended this season final standing 6th overall. You had an 11-8 record. Craig's team last year, let me list some of the players that he has. He had Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Williams, Halliburton, Claxton Sengun, the center for the Rockets. So he had a lot of young talent on that squad. He's got an eye to figure out what up-and-coming rising stars are out there in the league. So with the third overall pick, I'm not sure if I've seen Craig draft this high before. So congrats on that pick. Once again, our 2022 champion, Craig Sakala. Good luck. And that means with the second overall pick of the draft goes to Harold. So Harold, last year, he ended the season 9th overall with a 6-13 record, just barely missed the playoffs. Harold actually named his team Always Injured, and I'll tell you why. He had Kawhi Leonard, Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Paul, Michael Porter, Nurkic. Yep, he drafted all those guys, and as you know, they played most of the season injured. So hopefully this year with the second overall pick, he can get a player that consistently plays at least 70 to 80 games. That'd be awesome. His highest pick ever of all time was 4th overall, so second is huge for him. An interesting fact to note, every single season, Harold has James Harden on his team. So I'm not saying James Harden is a number 2 type of guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Beard ended up on Harold's team. So with the first overall pick of the draft, as I mentioned before, was the consolation winner of last year's tournament, Ben Webb. So Ben Webb is going to get the first overall pick this year because he worked hard. Even though he didn't make the playoffs, he played his heart out to win that last season-ending tournament to earn himself the first overall pick. So congrats, Ben. You can go from bottom last year to this year, the first overall pick. So I do believe in you. Ben's got the knowledge. So good luck, Ben. And that's it for our draft. That's our draft lottery. Good luck this season, my friends. Once again, it's going to be fun. The draft is on Monday, October 23rd at 8 p.m. So let me know if you have any questions, but good luck, fellas.